run through the options on Cloud. I think the only thing that it would potentially clank with is back air. But beyond that, I think it's going to be good. I don't know. The big thing I'm hoping for in this match, and now that we're at this top level, it's hitting a point of like, I want adaptations to start getting like even more complex because they're hitting a point where Deathless has shown multiple times, if I need to get close, I can get close. If I need to start spacing with the sword, I can space with the sword. But beyond that, it's dangerous.
Oh, I mean, yeah, absolutely. So I think we just need to see how Deathless is going to react to these situations. We know that Squidplumber could punish. We've seen it 1,000 times over in a lot of different tournaments as well.
Yeah.
So we know the potential is there to get some crouch going on there. So now let's just see it happen. Game 1, losers semifinals. Winner of this game takes on Cole for a chance at the grand finals. Loser goes home, but still with a little bit with a nice good chunk of change in his pocket. Yeah. Let's go.
It's Lions Den 100, people. We're not going to be selfish on that. Y'all have been putting in the work. This is a reward for those who have been taking care of this community. And with that being said, we're heading into this and seeing two titans of this community being Squidplumber and Deathless. Now,
I'm very disappointed in myself.
Why?
Because this is a match that is going really well for Cloud and Execution than it is on paper, and I let it fool me. Because I also just forgot that Cloud is a machine that does not let you do what you want.
Yeah.
He is a punishment punisher. I was trying to go for another P word, but nothing really spoke out at the time.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that Richter, who has a lot of things where like forward smash, or all of his smash attacks have really, really slow times onto it. Even Holy Cross has a bit of a recovery on it as well.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most important moves that you have inside your kit.
Yeah. And so suddenly you're dealing with Mr. I've got a big sword, and Cloud is the one who, even though he just used that up special, Richter got the shield off and was going for the forward smash. Cloud got it off in return. The end lag on all of his moves is also very few and far.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's also pretty. Another thing that's interesting to point out is that. Ooh, never mind. I'm not going to point out anything. I'm just going to look at this.
Immediately getting caught in by the smash attack, but falls out of the hits. Thank you, multi-hits. But with that, both players rocking percentages above 100. Just about anything will take the stock. 143 on to the Richter, 161 onto the Cloud. One good down air coming in from Squidplumber, another down tilt, and that one closes the stock. Now with that, will we see Squidplumber begin to bring this back, or is this stock in a very dangerous spot as well?
Well, I believe that Squidplumber could do anything.
Yes.
Like, takes the back air there, which is something that could happen.
Yeah.
But the game's still very winnable for Squid, especially because of the amount of different strings you do have on Richter, especially with drag down combos, especially with ending off inside of Dolphin Slash. And once you get him off stage, it's kind of just like, okay, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
Which Cloud does a lot less things, which is what I was touching on before the match, but besides the point. So I think that even with this, he just needs to get some kind of momentum inside of his swing, and then Squid's going to be able to take some stocks off.
Yeah, and we've seen Squid's ability to adapt has been very prevalent throughout the series. So if it takes a game, or if it takes, a game or two, that's perfectly reasonable. But right now, Deathless is looking like a very strong player, as he is the one who's taking this series up 1-0.
Yeah, and as they're discussing the stage, selection. If you're inside of Squidplumber's mind, what are you thinking about right now?
I'm trying to get in my flow state. Take a deep breath. It's a matter of just really, calming down, because I think seeing what Cloud can get away with in this matchup, he was like, I wasn't fully ready for this. But now that we're at this point, there's a reason why Squidplumber is considered to be a very, a top player. And it's because he has a lot of great ability to just really take the game at his pace.
Mm-hmm.
Because he learns so incredibly quickly. So,
Absolutely.
So now, we're on small battlefield. Cloud going
Small.
for these back airs. Small. Squidplumber still feeling a lot of pressure, but I do think now we're starting to see this sort of like, okay, I get it, I understand what the plan is that you're going for, but I am going to punish you this time around because I think I have a better idea of what I need to be going for in this sort of matchup. That's what happens when you have tons of hours in this game. Suddenly, even if you feel like you're playing against someone who plays a little bit differently than the traditional, you still have a pretty good idea of how you want to adapt to it. Treat it like a different character matchup.
Absolutely. And, it's very nice to be able to see that kind of reset. And I'm glad that you touched on that. Because, as we have mentioned before, mental is a huge part of this game.
Oh, absolutely.
A situation like that, right? It's just you couldn't recover, you're just barely close. Don't focus on that.
Yeah.
That's not the point. You want to just think about neutral, you want to think about how you're going to get yourself back into this. That's all you got to do.
Yep.
And Squid is the perfect person for that. I don't think there's a story of anybody who could get up, wake up, get out there so much so as Squidplumber when it comes to just getting into situations where he does not have a great time with it and he just figures it out.
Oh, absolutely.
Richter is one of those characters that does get punished very hard by bad matchups. There have been times where Squid has showed up at major events in front of huge crowds and he wasn't able to deliver. Those situations are difficult to go through, but it makes you so much stronger as you keep on pushing through these different matchups, and especially when you have a huge pot bonus on the line. You're already a game down. You're inside of a very rough matchup here. You could seriously do some damage and you could do some carnage. So I'm very confident that Squidplumber will be able to pick himself up. And this is 16% of extra credit is not that bad. Squidplumber being able to get some zoning off with the Holy Water, but we're getting some stabilization from Deathless, who's been another fantastic showing inside of this tournament. The axe does not connect. Deathless just taking his time off on the clip.
Yeah, we can't discredit Deathless throughout all of this because he has been putting in amazing amounts of work as well. And when it comes to understanding your character, it really, it's a showman's match. Both people have their knowledge, have their game plan. Both of them want, like, when it comes to Deathless, he has been able to get his plan going because of the exact reason we saw earlier today with the Piranha plant and the Mega Man. It is, Richter has great fools in his kit, but they take time. They need a second. And because they need a second, you got a character who moves fast like Cloud and is able to just start smacking you in the face. Suddenly, it becomes a lot more difficult for you to get some of your game plan off, but you just gotta adapt. It's gonna be a matter of can both players start to realize, okay, Squidplumber is looking for the options that are going to be a little less on the lag side, but Deathless is going to be the one who is really keeping up this pressure.
Yeah, Deathless is just looking for his, I guess, his ticket to Game 3 right now. Any of Cloud's big buttons are able to push him towards that. Even even just like a straight off beam.
Yep.
The dash attack is going to be the one to do it, though.
Yeah, dash
now we're
attack
going
and
to
lead.
number 3.
It's interesting to see. We've seen that set up multiple times. That is how it goes most of the time. The when you throw that holy water onto the ledge, it usually means that you're safe. The
Right.
strange bit is that it fades away relatively quickly, or at the very least, it almost like. I shouldn't say that. What I should say is that it was very good on Deathless for timing it.
Right.
Because Deathless, that dash attack could have very easily been stuffed out by the fire. So it's on him for like realizing, okay, let me show what I can get away with type of deal.
Yeah.
So with that being said, calling out the Holy Fire, amazing way to close out that game. We're heading into the game 3 almost instantly, and suddenly percentages are starting to look a little bit even, but when they were looking even before, it was usually Deathless who was pulling away, and it was Squidplumber who needed to be pulling up a little bit of the slack, as we see once again here with the Limit Blade beam doing so much work, giving him all of the value that he needs, and suddenly these strings are becoming a lot more dangerous, a lot more deadly. Cloud, again, just really racking up this percentage so quickly.
Absolutely, and when you bring on something like the Blade Beam, right? It's just such a versatile tool. We've seen it inside of a lot of matchups today, right?
Yeah.
We saw it against Wolf, we saw it against Ryu, and the Blade Beam, Deathless has been professionally using it as this get the hell off me, stay off me, we're just going to keep it that way kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And he is cooking whenever he brings that stuff out. So, I love the way that Deathless is using it.
Yeah, at this point, we're seeing, frankly, this matchup is looking a lot more difficult as the time passes. There's that little bit of getting tapped by the Holy Fire that we were expecting to see earlier with that dash attack. Squidplumber getting the little bit of damage, suddenly getting his little bit of advantage state. Has the spacing to start throwing out his options, but now Cloud has the limit, moving a little bit faster, and he doesn't grab the ledge, but he is able to make it back with the up special. So, at this point, limit's gone. You had a little bit of space, you did end up walking in, but that's going to be fine as he does make it back onto the ledge. Deathless, again, doing a great job of spacing, just sort of controlling this stage and really not letting Squid breathe. Because if you let Squid get a little bit of distance, he'll take a mile. And so when you have that understanding, when you lock in, you play to your strengths. And so as we continue through this limit online, I would not be surprised if we see a good amount of chip damage as Deathless takes whatever extra credit he can for this stock.
Absolutely, and this is a very dangerous situation for Squidplumber right now. If he dies, if he loses his last stock, he's completely out of bracket.
Yeah.
But that brings Deathless to losers finals to take on the crazy combo king himself, Cody.
Yeah. First things first, though. Got to get through this.
Or Cole, not Cody. Too much wrestling on the brain.
All right, back air's starting to be thrown out. 100% dangerous spot to be, but not the most like terrifying. We do see a couple more. He does manage. This Cloud Claire has done a great job of really dancing around that, because there are very few characters that I know of who would be so comfortable. A lot of players wouldn't be comfortable to try and dash through the Richter up to along with the Holy Fire. But suddenly, it is a one-stock game. It is very doable. If there is a character to do it, it very well could be the Belmonts. But the first things first, he's got to find his breathing room. How does he do it? It could be a grab. It could be a little bit of a runaway. We just need that little bit of space before anything crazy happens.
I mean, thankfully, Squidplumber could give the space that he needs here, especially because back air is so huge!
Yep, and that'll do it. Deathless bringing it into losers finals 3-0 against Squidplumber.